Forward it goes.
And here's Kovacic. And he's cut it out. Isak. And the counter is on. Promising move that. Good inroads into enemy territory, but no joy. Foden is making a foray down the right. Into the box.
Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Managed to get it away. And here's Grealish. And it's Kovacic.
Trippier. Rodri. De Bruyne. Rodri. De Bruyne. Kyle Walker. Oh, that's nice. De Bruyne. Grealish. Finds himself eased off the ball. Gets into a dangerous position. Stones positions himself well and cuts it out. And now they can launch a counter. And through to the goalkeeper. Rodri. And it's De Bruyne.
These are the ones you get.
And as the Arsenal anthem rings around the Emirates, the Angel. This is the second of a 6-game period out of 7 games where they're going to be at home between now and the end of October. They have got a platform, both in the Champions League and the Premier League, for them to really make their presence in North London felt.
And they could kick on from it, absolutely. And the good thing about it is, oh yeah, you're right about 1 or 2 injuries, Odegaard particularly, but you look at the rest of it and they do look very, very strong on the bench. Players that they can go and call on from there. That's maybe the big difference that Arteta's made to this team. That and the fact that everybody knows, wow, they are a tall physical side, aren't they?
Sam Barrett is our referee, and as he just checks his watch, I wonder how many yellow cards we'll see here today, bearing in mind that he has shown 26 in just 4 Premier League games so far as Leicester City get us underway. BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. The usual goal service on a Saturday afternoon. We'll go here, there and everywhere. We'll keep you up to date with the goals as they go in, whether it be at our reporters dotted around the country or indeed off the trusted video printer that is just in front of me. And I would imagine that we will be seeing quite a few here today. Certainly that is the expectation, and that also is the daunting task that awaits Leicester City, who are one of 6 sides who have failed to win in their opening 5 games. The first time in English top-flight history that 6 teams have failed to get a victory at such a stage of any campaign. As the ball goes back to Raya and out to Gabriel. And there's already been a goal, and it's at Brentford. Henry Moran.
Oh, they've taken an age today. 23 seconds last week, 40 seconds this week. 3 games running they've scored within a minute. Remarkable. Brian Mbeumo hooking the ball into the top corner. Brentford 1, West Ham 0.
West Ham United only 1 win in 5 in the Premier League as Martinelli is sent forward on that far side, but Mads Hermansen was quickly out of his goal, all in green, for that Leicester City rearguard action. A good anticipation from the Leicester keeper.
Do you know what? Going back to that Mbeumo goal, the statisticians will be all over it, but I can never remember a team scoring 3 times in a row in the first minute of each game, and that is an extraordinary thing to see. That cannot be a fluke. They must have been working on it.
So Brentford, after back-to-back defeats in the Premier League, off to a flyer with Brian Mbeumo. 1-0 they lead. Leicester City playing from right to left as we look. Lose the ball. Havertz over the halfway line. Arsenal in their red and white shirts and white shorts, playing from left to right as we look. Calafiori now out towards Martinelli. in the sunshine here in North London. As then it goes back to Gabriel. Saliba will take over that trusted central defensive partnership. Partey passes the ball. Saka away from Christensen with ease. Okoli comes across to double up. Saka though will try and beat him. Barged over. Referee says no foul. As we're going to go racing at Newmarket, it's the Judgment Middle Park Stakes. John Hunt.
We've come well past halfway here, Ian, down to the 2 pole. The leader is Dash Dizzy, the favourite Whistle Jacket, trying to produce a run now, but also Shadow of Light for Charlie Appleby and William Buick coming right into contention. These three a little way clear of Defence Minister and are staying on Black Forza, but it's Shadow of Light who has by some way found the best turn of foot and is coming clear in the closing stages. An impressive winner, Shadow of Light, streaking away to win by 5 lengths from Whistle Jacket. Whistle Jacket himself with some great form coming into the race, but he's been left behind today by Shadow of Light, William Buick, on the latest big race winner, the Middle Park Stakes.
As Arsenal are attacking, Martinelli in towards Rice, couldn't take it in his stride. We'll have the Cambridgeshire a little later on as well at 3:40 for what will be a real cavalry charge at Newmarket for that, the feature race of the day. Morecambe 1, Notts County 0 is the latest score in League 2. Somewhat of a surprise, Morecambe who are yet to win. So they are ahead in League 2. No other goals to tell you about as the ball goes back to Hermansen, and he's not fazed at all by the presence of Havertz, and they pass the ball out from the back.
Quite comfortable from the goalkeeper there, but it's a really intriguing way that Havertz is playing today. He's playing behind Trossard. So Trossard's out now, kind of centre forward, and Havertz is basically wherever he wants to be behind that, trying to find the space and arrive deep. Very, very dangerous position for Havertz, and finally a team playing him in his best position.
The voice of Pat Nevin on BBC Radio 5 Live. After Sports Report, we've got another commentary for you at Molineux. Wolves against Liverpool at 5:30. Liverpool 2 points behind Manchester City after that draw at St James's Park. In the Championship, incidentally, the 3 results: Blackburn beat Queen's Park Rangers 2-0, Derby 2, Norwich 3, Sheffield Wednesday beat West Bromwich Albion by 3-2. In League 1, it was Crawley 0, Bolton 2, Reading 2, Huddersfield 1. And the 2 results in League 2, Harrogate Town beat Bradford City by 2-1, and Walsall have actually gone top of League 2, beating Colchester by 4-0. Partey for Arsenal in the midfield. Tried to pass it forward, blocked by Ndidi, falls towards Vardy. Vardy now runs forward, Ndidi's going ahead of him. Mavididi also joins the attack. Vardy waits, passes the ball out towards that far side, and that was an option for James Justin. He got the shot away, it was blocked, and then Arsenal cheaply have given it back away to Leicester. Here is Winks, gets it back from Buonanotte. Buonanotte able to turn, rolls it out, but didn't have the pace to get to Mavididi. And a promising break by the away side.
Yeah, do you know what? Just off the ball there. I'm trying to see who that was wiped out. It might have been Timber, who was completely. It can be Timber, I can see him there. It could be Partey actually, it's come back. You know, one of the players has gone down off the ball, completely wiped out. By the way, if that was deliberate, the referee didn't see it at all. But if it's deliberate, they'll definitely look at it. But the players don't seem to be too upset, so he's probably okay.
We welcome listeners to the BBC World Service wherever you are in the world. Thank you for your company here this afternoon. Here we are in North London under the clear blue skies. I say clear blue skies, there is still the odd fluffy cloud in the distance, but primarily it's a lovely afternoon in North London. There's a stoppage in play. In the Premier League, Brentford are leading West Ham by 1-0. Cheltenham 0, Fleetwood 1 is the latest score in League 2. And Birmingham City 0, Peterborough United 1 is the latest score in League 1. Birmingham unbeaten, second in the table in League 1, but Peterborough themselves going well, and they have taken the lead at St Andrews as Hermansen, the Danish goalkeeper, plays it out towards Okoli on this near side, towards Ndidi. Arsenal trying to press, and it goes out for a Leicester throw. For those interested, it was Saka, and it was wiped out there. Buonanotte just came across him. He says it was undeliberate, but it's amazing how often that happens to a player who's a creative player when he gets a chance to do that. But Saka's back up, looking fit again. A lot of the questions to Mikel Arteta in his press conference ahead of this game were based about the fact that recently they've spent a lot of time without the ball. Now they're going to have the ball. They're going to be missing that creative presence of Martin Odegaard. Mikel Arteta says we will just have to try and find a way out, of course, with that ankle injury as Saka has overrun that. has he? No, doesn't go out of play. Comes to Partey on the edge of the area. First attempt to thread it through was blocked, and then it's picked up by Timber. Now towards Saliba, out towards Martinelli, and it goes out for a throw.
Very quickly, Saka's got the ball twice against the fullback, and both times, looking unnatural, he's gone down the line. Clearly his man just told him to do that, because he's not comfortable doing that. And the reason for doing that is you push the player that's marking you down the line a bit, gives you space to come inside, so watch him next time.
Mentioned that Peterborough had taken the lead. News of that goal at St Andrews. Leicester McGregor.
Birmingham City 0, Peterborough United 1. A calamity of a goal. Birmingham City trying to play out. The ball found its way back to Bailey Peacock-Farrell in goal. Got caught under his feet. Tried to go around the striker, who just bumbled it in right on the line. Birmingham City 0, Peterborough United 1.
Arsenal are one of the 4 sides who are still unbeaten in the Premier League. Brighton and Hove Albion are another, and there's been a goal. John Southall.
And they lead at Stamford Bridge by goal to 0. Chelsea 0, Brighton. What a right mess at the back from Chelsea. A clearance wasn't dealt with properly. It ballooned up into the air, and Ruta was there with the header. Sanchez couldn't get anywhere near it, and his header nestled into the bottom right-hand corner. Ruta's still down injured, but Brighton have the lead by goal to 0.
Thank you, John. Ruta, who was signed from Leeds United, and well, that's certainly a good start for them at Stamford Bridge to maintain their unbeaten start to the season. And it's also his first goal that he's scored in his 5th appearance for Brighton this season. Free kick to Arsenal, Pat.
Maybe slightly surprised that a yellow card didn't come out there. That was a tackle. It went over the top of the ball, got a little bit of the ball first, and it was definitely a sore one in Martinelli. However, he's recovered and he's on the ball. And
he's been taking that free kick down the left-hand side. Martinelli to the byline, looks to try and work it across to the near post. Cleared by Boanote, only as far as Saliba. Passes the ball back out towards Rice. Rice now right-footed, flat ball in, headed up in the air by Ndidi. Not away though, bouncing ball might go behind for a corner. Now all of a sudden this is where Leicester will be tested at a set piece.
Really look good down the wings just now. Martinelli's got the ball a couple of times. He's straight to the line. Same from Saka on the right-hand side. Just trying to draw those defenders. There's the back 4. They just want to pull them wide, try and get to the byline as often as they can. And when they get there, they look so dangerous, Arsenal.
Look out for Gabriel. Saliba will also be in the mix. Calafiori is up from the back.
I think everybody knows what Arsenal are doing now. They can know it, but can they stop it?
Well, Saka's the one to take it on this near side. And certainly the Leicester coaching staff are desperate to get some instructions across to their players at the moment. A lot of red and white shirts have gathered at the far post. In it comes from Saka, right down the throat of Hermansen. I mentioned earlier that Crawley were beaten by Bolton. They're without a win in 7 there. Scott Lindsay, of course, left during the week, went to take charge of MK Dons, and MK Dons, who'd lost all 5 games away from home, have taken the lead at Bromley in League 2. Bromley 0, MK Dons 1. I was about to say you're up to date, but there's just been a goal at Goodison. John Bennett.
A goal for Crystal Palace. Everton 0, Crystal Palace 1. Looks as though Mark Gahey got the final touch. Header at the back post by Lacroix, and Gahey was there on the line to just poke it into the back of the net. Everton 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Rice curling ball in, headed away by Christensen, drops inside the penalty area, cleared on the volley by Ndidi. I think that's the first time that Palace have taken the lead this season.
Yeah, and Everton having a really tough time. Another team that have been really competitive for a good number of the games, obviously going ahead regularly, but not a good start for them. Just a moment ago there, for the second time in the game, Leicester managed to break really quite quickly. However, when he's at the back, Rice 1-on-1. I don't think there's anybody who looks more calm than him.
Here is Havertz, right corner of the area, back to Partey, switches it back out towards the right, about 4 yards in from the touchline. Saka finds Partey once more, 30 yards out from goal. Rice, Calafiori now far side the left. Martinelli is out on that left touchline, level with the penalty area, but instead they go back to Gabriel. Every outfield player then in the half away towards our right. St Mirren are leading at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. 5 Live, the World Service and BBC Sounds, here at the Emirates, 0-0, 11 minutes played. Here is Gabriel. He waits, out to Rice once more. Trossard looks to try and get on the end of it. Havertz was there, couldn't get a meaningful touch. Timber's overrun it, out of play, goes for a throw.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely brilliant. I watched Havertz for about 30 seconds before that. The ball was being played around, and he wouldn't go near the box. Just stayed out of it, waiting to arrive when the cross was played in. Do you know, so many people that are desperate to get into it quickly. He's such a clever player.
Little flick by Trossard to Saka. Does a little turn, now has his back to the byline, and plays it to Partey, in field. Gabriel passes it out wide left-hand side to Martinelli. Rice has made a run to the edge of the area. Calafiori is an option. He goes further square towards Partey. Now right corner of the box is Saka. Helps it. They've worked it well. Havertz unmarked. Havertz with a little dink ball headed away by Wout Faes. Comes towards Saka. Nods it back towards Timber. And Arsenal really are applying a lot of pressure as Carlisle lead Grimsby Town by a goal to nil at Brunton Park in League Two. Saka, right side of the area, plays it back towards Partey, looks for a shooting opportunity, instead pass it to Timber, has a shot blocked, comes back to Timber, now delivers the cross, cleared by Collett.
We really are turning it up now, and turning the screw now, Arsenal. Leicester City cannot get out of the final third of the pitch, but it's not slow passing, they're zipping it around, going down the left, going down the right, making really intelligent third man runs. Arsenal at the moment, it looks like just a matter of time.
If you think back to last weekend where Manchester City were applying the pressure and Arsenal were the team who were digging in, on this occasion it's Arsenal now who are probing. They're looking for the penetration, and it's Leicester City who've got their backs to the wall, all in royal blue, as Martinelli left corner of the area. Martinelli waits, Rice in field, Gabriel, he goes further square. This is Partey, now to Timber, the right back, forward ball, right corner of the area. Havertz, Christensen up against him, towards Saka. Still, they can't find a way through that royal blue line. As now it's with Calafiori. Rice, left corner of the area. They're having to be patient. They're trying to prise open this Leicester City defence. Here is Calafiori. Thought about the shot, changes his mind, passes it to Partey. Havertz, Timber on the overlap, slightly behind him. Still has the ball. Pass it to Partey. Now to Havertz, right-hand side. Timber once more. Timber with the cross. Repelled by the head of O'Colly. Let's go to Nottingham Forest. Pat Murphy.
Forest 0, Fulham 0. Two corners to both sides. Close to so. A 1 year for Fulham. Wriggled through. Low cross, but no takers. Forest 0, Fulham 0.
Goalless there. Goalless here. Palace are ahead at Everton. Chelsea 0, Brighton 1. Brentford 1, West Ham 0. It finished 1-1 between Newcastle United and Manchester City. Calafiori out towards Martinelli once again. Havertz appealing for the ball, is totally unmarked. It's crossed towards Havertz, gets his head onto it, but heads it up rather than back into the danger area, and eventually it's hooked clear.
You make a good point. The fact it's similar to the game against Manchester City, except this time it's Arsenal are doing the attacking, but they're moving quicker.
Saka with a shot from distance, and Hermansen down to his right with a comfortable save.
Yeah, but Arsenal are moving the ball quicker. If you watched the game against Manchester City last week, Man City, it was a bit laboured the way they were passing it around the 18-yard line. There's a bit more intelligence about the way Arsenal are doing it. They're not cramming right into that final 20 yards or so. They're allowing players to run from a little bit deeper, but also they don't hang about on the ball too long when they've got it there. They keep on moving players.
Saliba steps out of defence, gets it to Saka. Saka prizes open the Leicester defence to find Martinelli, and Martinelli left-footed, couldn't keep it down. Well, Jamie Vardy was dispossessed, and all of a sudden Leicester were cut open, but Martinelli couldn't keep his effort down. Goal kick, 0-0.
Feel a wee bit sorry for Martinelli there. The ball's played him maybe a tiny bit behind him. He's dragged it into the right position and trying to have the shot there, but he knew that Faes was coming in at speed there, so he tried to dink it over him. But by doing that, he ticked over him, goalkeeper and the crossbar. So actually, Faes doesn't get a touch on it there, but he does really, really well to put Martinelli off, but he should have got it on target.
This is Martinelli, who's gone 19 games since his last goal, which was against Sheffield United back in March. 0-0. Calafiori tries to win it on the halfway line, booted downfield by Faes, Leicester central defender. Rice running back into his own half in the bright sunshine, then cleared away downfield by Gabriel. Once again Faes is there, and in the end it's Justin who heads it out of play for a Arsenal throw to Stamford Bridge from North London to West. John Southall.
Well, the sun is shining. Chelsea 0, Brighton 1. Brighton dominating the game. Danny Welbeck on the right-hand side. His cross took a deflection, and there was Sanchez with a reflex save. It's all Brighton. Chelsea 0, Brighton 1.
Thank you, John. Calafiore back to Gabriel. Saliba receives the ball across that middle part of the Arsenal half away towards our left, as Declan Rice is now in possession for Arsenal. Goes to Gabriel. Calafiore has gone ahead of him in like that inverted role. Martinelli also on the left. It's hoisted out to this near side to Saka. Havertz is in close proximity, finds the German on the stretch. Mavididi then tries to get in the way, and Mavididi is knocked to the floor. Mavididi, who began his career at Arsenal but didn't actually make any appearances for Arsenal. A goal in the Championship at Ellen Road. Charlie Slater.
With 15 minutes on the clock, Ellen Road comes alive. Leeds 1, Coventry 0. Firpo with a brilliant low cross to the edge of the box. Nonto with his boot sticks it straight into the roof of the net. No chance for the keeper. 1-0 Leeds.
And also Peterborough United have doubled their lead at St Andrews. Birmingham City 0, Peterborough United 2, and in the Scottish Premiership, Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1 is a latest score at Dens Park. And I know that Ailey had mentioned ahead of kickoff that they were going to pay tribute to Fabian Caballero, who sadly has passed away playing futsal back with friends in Paraguay at the age of 46. 5 seasons he spent at Dundee, 142 appearances, 27 goals. Arsenal also paid tribute to Fabian Caballero because he did actually make 3 appearances on loan here in between 98 and 99. We'll get news of that Aberdeen goal when we can from Ailey, but it's 0-0 so far.
Just underline, I played against Caballero as well, and he's one of those players, had it not been for an injury at a bad time, he would have been fabulously famous at the very top level of the game.
Calafiore in field, Declan Rice forward. Bristol Rovers are leading Wycombe by 1-0. Hull City 0, Cardiff City 1. Cardiff, who sacked their manager during the week, only their second goal that they've scored in the Championship this season, and they're leading at Hull City as Arsenal on the attack, left-hand side. Trossard, who goes out to that left touch line on this occasion. Gabriel, he stayed out wide as well as the Belgian. As in a minute, Martinelli has gone central. Trossard twisting and turning, can't deliver the cross, passes it to Gabriel, try and link up, and Justin with the clearance. Back to St Andrews, Nesta McGregor.
City 0, Peterborough United 2. The home side's unbeaten record under real threat. Second goal's come from an in-swinging corner. Emmanuel Fernandez up from the back, near post header, rose highest, powerful past the keeper. Birmingham City 0, Peterborough United 2.
Saka on the attack, Timber on the overlap, works over the cross! Martinelli falling backwards, guides it into the bottom left-hand corner. His goal drought is over, and Arsenal's pressure tells. Martinelli with a goal, Arsenal 1-0 up.
Yeah, I mean, really good break, because the ball was wide, long up the park. Vardy had it. He feels as if he was dragged off the ball. That's something we'll have to have a closer look at.
Vardy's actually already been yellow carded for having another dig at the referee. However, you have to get on with the game, and down they went to the right-hand side. And again, talking about those wingers getting to bylines or getting other players to the bylines, it was crossed back there. He still had a huge amount to do around about the penalty area, but when he got there, he just finished it. The simplest one in the world, an overlapping fullback from Saka, and he's just turned, spins, no great power in it, sliced to the far corner, keeper didn't even move. 1-0 is coming, I think we said.
I think so, yes, and his first goal in 20, and Arsenal are ahead. Motherwell have equalised at Fir Park. Motherwell 1, St Mirren 1. Blackpool are leading Burton by 1-0. They've won all of their 3 previous games under Steve Bruce in League 1, and they're leading ahead at Bluefield Road. And in the top of the table clash in League 2, there's been a goal at Priestfield. Lawrence Herdman.
The leaders behind, Gillingham 1, Barrow 0. Robbie McKenzie with a slide rule pass round the back of the Barrow defence, and Jayden Clark, who scored twice in the last home match, with a composed finish. Gillingham 1, Barrow 0.
Pat, you mentioned that Jamie Vardy had got a yellow card. Steve Cooper too.
Absolutely, and for exactly the same thing. They're both absolutely fuming. I think it was Saliba who was a 1-1 on Jamie Vardy. And it's interesting though, because when Arsenal attacking, they're leaving Jamie Vardy 1-1. By the way, he's never used to do that sort of thing in the past. However, I'm absolutely convinced that he was fouled. It should have been filled up, he wasn't, and that's why both men are furious and both men are in the boot.
Arsenal are ahead. Another goal at Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea have the equaliser. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. Error from Webster, played it to Jackson. He swept it across to Cole Palmer, and he did the rest, as he does. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1.
And let's get news of that goal for Aberdeen from Eilidh Barber.
And it comes from Kevin Nisbet, his third goal in his fourth appearance since moving back north of the border, and it gives Aberdeen a 1-0 lead. First time finish from the striker. Aberdeen, Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1.
Well, there's no let-up from Arsenal. They've got the goal, but they're still all like Leicester.
Declan Rice are brilliant. I mean, you don't know where he's playing just now. He's sometimes the deepest line player, sometimes he's central midfield. There, he was left wing into the byline. The only complaint I would make, he gets there, and for some reason he doesn't make the cross to his left foot. Tries to get it on his right foot, leaves it too long, and instead of creating a chance, only gets a corner kick. But Rice, he's been superb today so far.
And it's Rice who goes across towards that far side, the left, as we approach the midway point of the first half, with Arsenal leading Leicester City by 1-0 to take the corner kick. Arm goes aloft for Declan Rice. It's a right-footed corner in towards the near post. Colin manages to get it away. Martinelli, the goal scorer, passes the ball back towards the England international, delivers the ball in. Notty heads it away under pressure. Winks then just touches the ball forward to Mavididi. Leicester can't get hold of the ball at the moment, Pat.
It's a real shame for them because, I mean, they believe Mavididi's a lovely player to watch if you can get him in the final third. You just can't get him to the final third. And part of the problem is they are basically playing a 4-5-1 when they lose the ball, and that one up front is miles away from everyone else.
Trossard collects it from Martinelli. Tries to dance his way forward into that penalty area, but is forced to turn around because of the amount of blue shirts that are there. Finds Rice, gives it back towards Trossard, left corner of the area. Gabriel, back towards Rice. Trossard stays out wide left. Shrewsbury 1, Rotherham 0 is the latest score in League One. Hull City have levelled in the Championship. Hull City 1, Cardiff City 1. Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership, as Arsenal have been awarded a free kick. And they wanted to take it quickly, but they're unable to do so. Well, nip to Goodison, John Bennett.
Everton 0, Crystal Palace 1. The first decent chances for Everton, both falling to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, including an effort saved off the line. Everton 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Arsenal have won their last 5 meetings against Leicester. And it looks like it's going to be a question of just by how many, on the evidence of what we've seen so far.
It does feel a wee bit like that, but just the one thing that's in my mind, they'll make him Vardy 1-1, time and time again. And I know he's not as young as he used to be, but you don't do that with Vardy. He loves that.
Rice, flat free kick, cleared off the air by Skip. Headed forward by Timber, volleyed down into the ground by Calafiori, straight at Hermansen. Bromley have equalised in League 2. Bromley 1, MK Dons 1. No other goals to tell you about here on BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. We've got commentary to come after Sports Report from Molineux. And then tomorrow we've got 2 more games. Ipswich Aston Villa at 2. As Leicester lose the ball, here is Rice into the penalty area. Martinelli steadies himself, beaten out by Hermansen, and then hooked clear by Winks. And Leicester at the minute have given the ball away again. They're architects of their own downfall at the moment.
Yeah, but they've been set traps by Arsenal. That's the same trap that Arsenal set twice in a row there. And get the ball right dead centre of the field there. When they get it right dead centre of the field, Martinelli knows. He flies down the left-hand side. That is 2 opportunities he's had from exactly the same trap.
Carlisle United 1, Grimsby Town 1 is the latest score in League 2, and Millwall have taken the lead at home to Preston North End in the Championship. Millwall 1, Preston North End 0. Back to Chelsea, John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. Here comes Chelsea again with Madueke just on the edge of the penalty area, and that one rolls out, and that will go behind for a goal kick. Goal disallowed though. Sancho thought he'd scored. Madueke was offside. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1.
It means that the only goalless game in the Premier League is at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Fulham 0. Palace still lead at Everton. 1-1 there at Stamford Bridge. Brentford, after that very early goal, still leading against West Ham United. And Arsenal, who lead by 1-0, have got a corner.
They have got a corner, and they just look dangerous every time. Now, everybody knows, you know, the power, the physicality, the amount of time that they work on these free kicks and these corner kicks that they get. And you look at Arsenal sometimes, you know, the history of them and the fact they've got that type of manager. But they're playing in such defensive ways away from Manchester City. They're not getting forward, and then using this physicality. Very old school, isn't it? In some ways.
Rice waits to take it once again. They're gathering at the far post in those Red and white shirts, a little bit of jostling inside that crowded 6-yard area. Hermansen gets a fist on it, comes out towards Saka, off his chest, edge of the area. Left-footed effort blocked by the ankles of Ndidi, and then Trossard is the one running back who just knocks it towards Saliba, and with Vardy running towards him, he takes no chances towards David Raya.
It's what I'd love to see, yeah. I mean, if you go and leave it, and it's usually, I mean, either Saliba or Gabriel's been left to Jamie Vardy, he just wants 1 or 2 runs at those to find out if they're good enough defenders. They might be, because they are pretty good.
Trossard chips the ball to the penalty area to Partey, battling for it, headed away by Skip, comes out to Trossard. Trossard uses his strength to try and win the ball. Navadini tries to hold him off, but Trossard was still going. He was like a little terrier.
But it was on again. It was absolutely on again there. You had 1-on-1, just turn round, lump it over the top and find out if Vardy can get there. I cannot believe the Leicester midfielders haven't spotted it yet. It's on time and again.
Cambridge United 0, Lincoln City 1. Cambridge United bottom of League One, yet to win this season, behind at the Abbey Stadium. Carlisle United 2, Grimsby Town 1, and another goal at St Andrews. Nestor McGregor.
Birmingham City 1, Peterborough United 2. The home side back in the game. Wonderful play down the left-hand side by Emil Hansen. Low cross, and running in from the other flank to tap home was William Williamson. Birmingham City 1, Peterborough United 2.
5 Live here at the Emirates. We'll be back here in midweek as well, Tuesday night. Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League will be our commentary. We're going to Stamford Bridge. There's a penalty. John Southall.
It's a Chelsea penalty. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. Sancho brought down by Belieber. And here comes Cole Palmer in front of the shed end. He's just equalised for Chelsea. Steps up and scores. Bottom left-hand corner. Chelsea 2, Brighton 1.
He never misses.
He never misses. And more importantly, this is not a south or west game, is it? 2-1 this early in the game, and the one thing you've got to say about Chelsea, they are never, ever boring these days.
To be fair to John, he did say that. It was Lord Chapman that tried to put the mockers on it.
Yeah.
But Chelsea have turned that around. They're leading by 2-1. Match of the day tonight, BBC One at 10:30. Christensen in a tussle with Trossard. Christensen holds him on, then he's faced by Saka. Passes the ball forward to Navadini. O'Connell clears it up towards Jamie Vardy. Just a gentle nudge in the back by Saliba. And Arsenal easily dealt with that, and they're back in possession.
Saliba's done really well there, hasn't he? He's just laid a little bit more on Vardy. Vardy's ready on the yellow card. He's getting a bit annoyed at the moment. It's very, very hard for Jamie, but he's had that all his career. Just see if he gets 1 run. 1-1-1. That's all he wants.
After West Bromwich Albion's defeat at Hillsborough, there was a chance for Sunderland to go top of the Championship. However, Aaron Paul.
2.5 hour mark, Watford 1, Sunderland 0. Festi Eberseli with a stunning strike on the volley, left-footed, following a cracking cross from Yasser Larouci on the far side. It's totally deserved. Watford 1, Sunderland 0.
Totally deserved here for Arsenal to be in front, leading by a goal to 0. Madini tried to